Will! Will! Hey! Will, wake up, man! Jerry exclaimed, standing a couple feet from my desk. Yeah. Yeah, what? I yawned, lifting my head from my arms laid on my desk. Last period, get up, Jerry said. Okay. Let me get my backpack first, I replied, reaching for my backpack, shuffling around to check if I still have everything. Mostly just my phone. I stood up from the desk next to Jerry and walked alongside him down to the front of the classroom. Last time in a while I was gonna see this room. Not gonna miss it, though. High school wasn't great this year. Jerry speaks, breaking the silence. So you doing good, man? He asked. I stood her out. Yeah, why? Well, with what happened to your sister, aren't you a little messed up? Plus your parents are gone for the summer on work, he added. Look, it was a month ago. I can't change anything anymore. I couldn't change anything. I gotta keep moving, for her sake, you know? I answered, in a tone shifted and forced. He looked nervous as he responded. Yeah, I get you. Still, if you ever need to talk, just call me. He yelled as he split to his bus, 3 buses away from mine. Yeah, I thought. It's gonna be fine, I tell myself while walking down the bus aisle from my seat. Second to the back. No one else sits back here. Mostly 'cause it's rusted, but there's like 3 other people that ride this bus anyway. Sitting down looking out on the parking lot through this window, thinking about this past month. My sister's gone, Mom and Dad left for a work trip, and I'm home alone for the whole summer. I begin to fiddle around with my pocket to pass the time. Where most of the other buses were still loading, I realized. Damn it! I forgot my house key. Shit, it must have fallen out of my pocket in the classroom. The bus still hasn't pulled out yet. Thank God. As I stood up to yell at the bus driver to see if he could wait, something obvious catches my eye. I was the only one on the bus besides the bus driver. I'm just gonna ignore it. It's the last day. Hey, Mr. Cruz, can you wait a bit? I forgot my house key in school, I yelled. Yeah, he replied. Just don't take forever, he adds. Yeah, I muffle under my breath running down the stairs to the curb, leaping with every step, running as fast as my legs can get me. Through the doors, through the trophy hall, up the stairs. Room 525, at the end of the hall. Almost there. I dash into the room as if my life depended on it, and my teacher, shocked, asks, Whoa, William, are you okay? Yeah, I just left my keys here, I respond. Oh, okay. Have a nice summer, I guess. He adds if I wasn't already gone with the keys in hand, running back down the stairs to the trophy hall and out onto the exit doors, leading to my freedom. But once I exit, I'm met with nothing. The damn bus driver left without me. Crap. I guess I'll walk. Dang it. The wind blowing ever harder than it was a minute ago. Like it was yelling at me, screaming at me. The trees were still and solid in this wind, like being choked. The walk was around 3 miles or so, the path straight and long. The sun scorching down on me, walking past all the houses I've walked past before, oddly looking empty as I continue. The field yellow, golden, swaying in the wind in mesmerizing patterns, shimmering. Still not harvested yet, I think to myself in this moment. Staring down the wheat field again, I see a glimmer, scream through the wheat, but before I could register more, every corner of my eye was engorged by the field. A headache stabbed every inch of my head as if my skin was peeling off. I lift my hand up with nothing but remorse for doing so. Touching my face, I felt the bare muscle fibers surround my fingers. I pull my hand away with fear, seeing the blood encumbering it. Unfocusing from my hand, I see the ground in front of me, bending, molding, growing like a cancer into a robotic body. My face starts to reform back onto my muscle. Instant relief hits me as I touch my face a second time, confirming my skin was there. Now I look back to the metal body now fully formed. Its form is female, with gray panels, a red hat atop it with another red circular symbol on its chest. It seemed to have a screen for a face, with mosaic eyes glowing green. I try to stand up, but my legs crumble under the weight of my body, bringing me back to the floor. All I can do is stare at this metal body, pale, skinny, and its design confusingly unnatural. I see that its screen has a buffering symbol, as if it's loading. "Where's the..." a robotic voice asks. It looks down on me. "There you are," she blurts. "Oh, nerve endings, that's what I forgot," she says, smacking her head. Does she mean my nerve endings? Her hand breaks off as she reaches for my neck. It crawls like an arachnid up into a slit I never noticed in the back of my neck. Weirdly enough, I don't feel it digging around inside my body. Actually, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything but my face. It leaves, then cauterizes the slit it went into. She chuckles as the extended wire flowing out of her wrist reconnects to her hand. "Hi," she ticks with a tone similar to that of a human. I was too stunned to respond after witnessing my body be mangled and tortured, yet only feeling half of what I saw. My mouth opens. "Hello?" I respond involuntarily. I didn't mean to say that. Did she make me say that? Why did I say that? I try to stand a second time as I push off the floor, my hands drenching it in blood, leaving a mark on the dirt. It stares at me, tracking my head. I stand now feet from this monster of metal. It raises its arm for a handshake and smiles. I didn't know if I should shake its hand, but I realized that if I didn't do it, it could just make me, right? I shake her hand, still staring at its screen. Suspicious and terrified, a sharp pain pierces my hand. I retract. What was that? I nervously asked, groaning from the pain. As I look back to her hand, still focused out, a needle from her palm retracts down into her hand. "Blood test," she responds with a smile. Oh, okay. I stutter, backing off, keeping my distance. "What is this thing? Why is it here?" The ground begins to melt into a slog like lava as it changes and forms into 2 chairs and a table, all made of metal, dirty and impure. It sits down and begins to drone. "Come, sit." I was scared of what it would do if I didn't sit, so I oblige. As I sit on the seat, it bends back as if it's rubber. I stare back to its screen in confusion as to why it hasn't attacked me yet. I mean, it hasn't tried to hurt me beyond earlier. Did she even peel my face off? I mean, she fixed my nerve endings, at least that's what she said. Still, something's off. I speak in a nervous tone, asking, "So, what are you?" Breathing ever so hard thereafter. She doesn't respond. I ask again, now with a less nervous tone. "Sorry, who are you?" 3, 5, no, 10 minutes go by. Did it not understand me? What happened? "Just a sec. Sorry, haven't booted up in a while," it blurted, startling me. "Oh, okay. More annoyed than scared now. So did you hear the question I asked?" "Affirmative." She puts her hand out again, opening it to reveal a pin. It's circle-shaped, like her head, with a hat on it. Why are you doing that? I ask. I'm required to hand this pin to all future and past hosts. It's a show of appreciation from the military for participating in. It stares in all directions as if it's confused or intrigued. It stares me down and asks, Did you steal private technology from the United States military? Wait. It thinks I stole it? Hold on. You just did a whole lot of talking and not a lot of answering. I blurt. It stares at my chest and speaks. Answer, William. Fear dripping back onto my face. Did it know my name? ID. It drones, pointing to my chest where my ID sits. I grip it and slowly tug it off and speak cautiously. How did you know what I was going to ask before asking you? There's an implant in the back of your head. It lets me read some of the signals in your brain as words, of which I can compose your thoughts. Confused, I stutter, Why? Its screen contorts to a face smirking, then glitches back to a blank expression. Our time is up. We need to leave. Now. Confused, I contort. What? No, I gotta go home. What? Why would I go with you? You haven't done a single thing. I stop to hear the faint thundering buzz of blades cutting the silence from behind the many trees lined like skyscrapers, with black metallic wasps buzzing up from the green line. In complete and utter disbelief, I stand, now able to see over the tall wheat. The scene frightening me to my core. Armored Humvees rushed down through the road and the trees, their engines rumbling, snarling as they drove ever faster near my general location. The sun now freezing as I stare for what felt like forever. The metal body next to me speaks in a tone, commanding, angry, and cold. William, we're leaving. Its form begins to melt again, along with the table, chairs, and the pin, all of it turning into a puddle of chrome on the floor before crawling up my leg. I stared in horror, and before I could even stutter a word out, the metal formed around my arms and legs and stabbed into me. My limbs gushing blood from their sides, the metal now hardened into my flesh and bone, tightening around the incisions, so as not to let any marrow escape. I let out a blood-curdling scream, but it was cut short by some of the spare metal slashing into my vocal cords. Now, not with my own actions, but with my mouth. It forces me to speak a word in a guttural rasp. Quiet. I try to pull my neck, but I can't move my limbs at all. All I can do is squirm my hands, but I felt even the control of them slipping down into a pit where the rest of my body lay. All I can do is think in pain. Then my body is forced to move on its own through the field onto the street, then through a fence into my neighborhood. Each step was crooked and unnatural, yet none of it hurt. Was I no longer even allowed to feel pain in my own body? What is this thing? What is it doing? Why is it doing this? What happened? I just wanted to go home and sleep through this nightmare. Damn it. I open my eyes to see my living room empty and silent. As I feel my arms begin to breathe life again, my eyes flash to them. Then, a pain numbing and alive burns through my whole body, but it fades within seconds of notice. The areas where the metal skeleton forged onto my bones, sticking out of my skin, start to get covered up by more skin, just mending and crawling over it. Dead, I begin to walk towards my couch to sit down, as my eyes start to fully unblur, and I see in front of me the thing that did this. Its face glowing. Awake? Confused, I look around and notice the windows are dark. It's nighttime. I point my bloody finger at the metal body and rasp. What was that? My throat burning after. It's the answer if I didn't ask anything. Answer me, you stupid fucking robot! Now crying, I break down in front of this thing, looking like a corpse as I lay, falling onto the floor off my couch. It moves to get closer to my face, sticking to the floor now. I'll explain in the morning. Your body's broken. It needs to mend. More stress could kill you, Will. Angrier than I've ever been in my life, I tighten my hand into a fist and growl. Why do you care? It stands back up. If you die, I die. Now sleep, it commands. Its form begins to melt back into a puddle and slowly makes its way over to me. Then the exoskeleton started to come back out as the chrome melted onto it, closing up when it finishes. As the west of the world goes to black, I rest broken and mangled. My last thoughts are that, thankfully, that thing isn't going to kill me. Or at least, it can't. The room breaks into a bright blur, my frame rigid sitting up in my sheets on my bed. My room quiet, warm, and moist. My face full of horror as I stutter, hyperventilating. Was it just a dream? Panicking. I look at my hands and feel the top of my fingers and palm all feeling the same flesh and bone instead of cold metal. It was all a dream. Just a dream. Huh. But it all felt so real. Just how can it... Whatever. I sigh, pushing my legs off the side of my bed, staring at my wall, rubbing my eyes to see better, observing the poster illuminated by my window. I should go to a concert this summer. My face scrunches. I need a job first. At least I got a car, I say as I begin to stroll out of my room, scratching my arm. Opening the door to the blank hallway, walking past each door, my arm festering harder as I walk past. The bathroom light was on. Did I turn it on last night or something? Walking through the frame, I noticed the porcelain floors drenched in crimson torn flesh, blood dancing and stringing like lights. The mirror was the only untouched, pure thing in the room. Then I blinked, and all of it was gone. My face fills with confusion. What? What? God, I'm tired. I brush off, scratching my eyes. The feeling with another blink of my eyes was null as I shift towards the sink and stare down into the bowl. Their drain, it's looking at me, its eyes fixated on my face. My arm itches. I stare at my toothbrush for 5 minutes, its bristles full of blood, mucus, and scum. Then, like before, it's gone. My hand lurches out towards its handle, ever so carefully, as to not bump my sore fingers. With my left hand, I pick up the toothpaste. I twist the nozzle on the sink for warm water with my right. I stick my toothbrush under the water to wash it off, mesmerized by the sound of water crashing into the bottom of the sink. My arm itches. I scratch again. My mind is focusing enough to bring the toothpaste to the brush and squeeze on the paste. My arm itches, staring in the mirror as I brush harder, trying not to itch my arm, swiping it across my face harder and angrier every time, spitting into the sink, my mucus bubbly and red from the excessive force I used to brush my teeth, causing my gums to bleed. Jesus, what is happening? I begin to ferociously itch my arm like something's under it. Then I stop. Beyond the blood, the veins, and the tissues scraped into my fingertips,
I see the metal dug across my ulnar radius, lining it like an exosuit. I fell to the ground in pure horror, realizing it was all real. Everything, all that happened. Holding my arm in terror, I try to cover the wound up, but it covers itself back up, healing and shifting under the pressure of my hand. My eyes snap back to the rest of the room, blood now covering everything again. I try to blink to make it go away, but it won't. I blink. Damn it! I scream. From the doorframe, a voice taunts.
Lost your mind already? Took you long enough.
It snarks. My face rips from horror to anger. You. I ball my hand into a fist and pivot up onto my feet. My fist inches from her face. Stopping. I clench my teeth. Why did you do this to me? What happened in my bathroom? It pushes my fist aside.
You're not going to get any answers with that tone. Calm yourself and restate.
I grab its hand and pull it from its socket, wires breaking, mangling as I tear it from its joints. Answer me! Her hand starts to melt in my grip, and a new one begins to materialize as she speaks.
Fine. Your bathroom was your fault, by the way. Your brain was on the fritz, and you tore yourself apart, and I saved you. I calmed you down, but the damage to your brain was too much. It altered your vision. That's why you weren't able to see me in the hallway. I was talking to you. But I must say, it was interesting watching somebody with their body still half torn apart brush their teeth.
I step back limply and scan myself, seeing all the tears and bruises along my arms and legs. I stutter complete nonsense as my brain tries to process all that's happening. Wait, it can't kill me. Why should I be afraid?
Because I can do worse than that.
It smiles. My eyes narrow and dart back up to the screen. Listen, you didn't answer all of my questions. It sighs.
I can't answer the first one yet. Like I said last night, you need to heal. I can't have you dying from a heart attack because your brain can't handle it right now. The host heartbeat is a kill switch for a rig. And since I combined with you, you're the
Host. I interrupt.
So, you need to live for just a bit longer till I can figure out how to rid myself of the switch.
It extends its arm out to help me. I just stare at it blankly with my aching body. Having no desire to even breathe, I rasp. Why me, though? Why did you pick me to be the host? The room stays silent for a bit longer, the smell of dried blood frying my nostrils. It pulls its hand back.
I didn't. It was random, honestly. I would have picked someone else knowing the assimilation phase was going to be this rough.
Okay. I suck in one large breath and begin to stand upon my torn legs. The walls darken as I push past her into the hallway, stumbling down it. Tears begin to form around my eyes as I fall in front of my door onto my knees. I stare into the door, thinking about what I was going to do now. I can't go out looking like this, but I can't tell anyone. I'm trapped in this house until that thing leaves or I heal. Damn it! I smash my hand against the door with the last bit of strength I have, my vision fuzzy from the tears. I see the chrome slither into my wounds, covering them up in patches. The purple scar tissue turns tan to match some of my tissue. It's not bloody. I could feel my arms moving to the floor and the lumbering weight of my body begin to push up onto my feet. Only I think I have control now. I lift my hand to the front of my chest and rest it there. I think I can move now. Finally. With no pain. I open the white tall door leading to my bedroom, stepping into the room. It's cold now, dark and quiet. Ignoring the fleshy and mechanical squeaks coming from my joints, I stepped closer and closer to my bed, collapsing onto it. I let out a sigh of relief, pulling the covers over my body, going to sleep. This is pretty scary. Now that I think about it, how am I even this calm? I mean, I bet she has something to do with it, but I wonder how my parents are doing. I'm sure they're fine. Dad's too wimpy to try anything new anyway. My eyes take one long spin around the room. My walls a deep cerulean blue. The trim snow white with posters and a bookshelf of vinyl, all in view, as it fades to an oily, lifeless black. My eyes opened instantly. In what felt like 2 seconds, no sleep at all. The room, now a warm orange from the daylight. It's sitting next to my bed, waiting to greet my corpse. Morning, I pointed at her. Do you sleep? No, it responds coldly. So she's just been sitting there all night, or does it does she power off at all? I lower my hand. So you're gonna answer my questions now? Affirmative, she responds. The room was shrouded in silence for 5 minutes. So then, obviously, now you know my name, but I don't know what to call you. Do you even have a name, or something of the sort? Or Amir, she interrupted. Oh, okay, then. Amir, what are you? So, hi, I'm Sort. I mean, obviously. If you stayed till now, thank you, you're awesome. And also, please stay for this rant. I mean, you don't have to, obviously, but it'd be cool. So, first episode of Amir. I know it was a little cringy at parts, and that's probably a result of me just not being good at writing, but, I want to get better. This is the getting better experience, and hopefully I get to get better with you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed. I hope I didn't copy any other stories that already exist. I really hope I didn't. I mean, if I did, then that sucks, and I'm really sorry, and I'll try and fix it. But besides plagiarism here, I didn't have music because I didn't really know what to throw in here that would fit the tone really well. But if you guys have any suggestions, that would be awesome if you could give them to me in the comments. Anyway, still, this whole channel too is also a learning experience in most cases, as you're going to find out through the next couple of videos. I mean, also don't expect the release schedule of Amir to be really consistent. I mean, expect it to be semi-consistent, but not consistent enough to where it's perfect. Because guess how long this video took to literally set up because I was lazy? 3 months. Only one was spent writing, and even then that was because I just didn't feel like writing at certain days. But I had most stuff planned out. And actually, no, dude, the amount of change in this story. Originally, Amir was supposed to be a militaristic robot, which I didn't take out because I wrote it weirdly incorrectly, but she's not. You'll learn that really quick in the next episode, but she's not. And also, the original arc was supposed to be that they were going to be on this road trip to DC to take over the world, or well, Amir was, but that's not the case anymore. And there was also going to be weird anomalies, and it was going to be supernatural shit mixed in with there as well. Really, I was just watching Supernatural and was like, this is lit, I like this. I like the idea of a supernatural road trip. Now, I know Supernatural is not about two brothers going on a road trip across the U.S., at least not in its entirety. It's about detective it gets crazier in the later seasons. It doesn't really have the same plot, but I meant like the first season somewhat. Um, Still, uh, I like the idea of a supernatural road trip, if you know what I mean. Messed up words there. Sorry, doing this in like 3 takes. Still, that's what I meant. I meant just more two people going across the U.S. to D.C. In the case of Amir, it would have been a mind-controlled 18-year-old, or well, essentially forced 18-year-old to go across the U.S. and drive because the robot doesn't know how to fucking drive. So obviously, and then the wacky hijinks of the anomalies were just like to throw in there to make a subplot if I wanted to extend the series. You know what I mean? But beyond that, um, still, I don't know what else to say here. But I hope you guys enjoyed. And whoever is listening to this part, thank you so much. You're awesome. Stay tuned, but not that tuned. I'm lazy. See you next time.